welcome back to the Vegan View. So I'm here with our new hosts. I'm so excited to introduce you all to them. I love these girls so much, and I am so grateful to be working with them. So we're gonna just do a little intro video so you can get to know them. Definitely make sure you're following them on all of their social media. So we're gonna introduce ourselves and we'll tell you a little bit of our vegan story, and then we're gonna do some fun Q&As after.
Hello everyone, my name is ALESSANDRA. I've been vegan for 7.5 years now, so been doing it a while. And I'm a content creator, videographer, and producer for a CBS podcast, travel news based. I've known these ladies, I think I've known Hannah for not too long, but I feel like we've become friends, really good friends very quickly. MALINA I've known for quite a while, and Joy I've known for years. I feel like
in the womb.
Yeah. So vegan for 7.5 years, and actually I was pescatarian first. I went pescatarian at around 13 years old. I saw a bunch of PETA videos, and they really inspired me to cut out, dairy and meat and chicken and turkey and everything. I wasn't really aware of the fish industry and how bad that was, so I stayed pescatarian for a couple of years, and then Tinder became a thing, and I met a guy who was vegan, and I started dating him for a little bit. We weren't even dating that long, but one day I walked into his apartment, and disclosure, he was raw vegan. Oh. So I walk into his apartment, and he had like 40 or like 60 bananas on his counter, and I was like, why do you have so many bananas on your counter? He's like, oh, I'm not vegan, I do this, I do that, blah, blah, blah. And that was, I remember the date, it was like August 23rd, however many years ago, 7.5 years ago was, bad at math. But when I left his apartment, I was vegan. So that very same day I turned vegan just because of the talk. And after that, it just became, it became ethical for me. At first, it was health motivated when I learned about, why it's healthier to be vegan. And I really started investigating on my own, and just, I stay vegan for ethical reasons, because that's the most important thing, I think.
I love it. That's so unique. That's such a crazy vegan story. Mostly it's like, like documentary, like that's mine. Like,
Also like a guy convincing a girl, that's a pretty rare situation.
I wonder where he is now.
Oh, he has a story. He's around, but not like around.
Yeah.
Like
we're not ready to dive into that.
No.
Okay.
Stay tuned.
Thank him for the info.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, I'm Hannah. Some of you might know me already from past episodes, and I am a content creator. I have a YouTube channel, and I'm also an actress. And I have been vegan for almost 6 years. It feels like so much longer. I don't know if it's like that for y'all, but I feel like I've been vegan forever. So 6 years sounds like not that much time to me. But anyways, almost 6 years. I actually eased into it similarly to you. I had started cutting out red meat and things like that, mostly because I had adopted my dog Archie, and after that I was inspired to save dogs that were on death row at the shelter. And so I was like, going to the shelter, I'd spend my whole day getting these dogs off death row and fostering them and finding them homes. And then I started to feel really hypocritical about what I was eating. And I was like, well, if I'm caring so much about these dogs that are on death row that are going to get put down, why do I not give a crap about the animals that are on my plate? I cut out red meat and pork, and then I slowly transitioned into cutting out like fish and chicken were the last things. And what did it for me was I watched a documentary called Vegucated, and I watched it primarily because I was dealing with some health issues, like some gut issues, and I thought I should probably watch something like this and like see if eating more vegetables would help me out. And after I watched that, I just could not. I knew I would never eat another animal product ever again. After that, it became fully ethical for me, and I've been vegan ever since.
Hey everyone, my name is Joy. I am a singer and an actress, and I'm a vegan foodie, vlogger. I don't know. I take photos of my food and I post it. All of the above. I've been vegan for, I think, 8 years now. I kind of stopped counting because I'm just like, this is who I'm going to be indefinitely. So she's like, I'm vegan. My journey started when I was younger. I ate meat like most of us, but I was always questioning what I put in my body, even as a child. I didn't eat a lot of candies. I didn't drink a lot of pops, and just certain things I would always question what I was eating and how it made me feel as a child. So a lot of processed foods and stuff. I stopped eating pork when I was in 7th grade. I made that choice on my own. And by the time I was in 10th grade, I was in a McDonald's drive-thru, and my thing was a 50-piece chicken nugget. Yeah, I would go in.
50. They make 50.
They used to make a 50-piece
I
nugget.
remember
You did that
they
by
made the
yourself?
50 piece.
Yes, I would eat that by myself.
Yes.
On top of a big and tasty and or a Big Mac.
I would always get 2 Big Macs.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
With sweet and sour sauce. And this is back in the day when they had the supersized fries.
Yes.
Yes.
And one day I was on a family trip and in like a different state, and we pulled up to the drive-thru at McDonald's. I was just sitting in the car. I had ordered my food with my family, and I just thought, like, wait, I'm from Michigan. I'm in a whole nother state right now, and I'm ordering 50 pieces of chicken nuggets in a whole other state. And I started thinking about, wait, there's so many McDonald's across the country and in the world. How do they have enough chickens?
Oh my God.
And I really just sat there as I'm waiting for my food, like, how do they have enough chickens? And then I started thinking about all the restaurants in the world that produce chickens. And I'm like, where are all these chickens coming from? And I was like, wait, something's not right here. I don't know. I just never trusted the food industry. And I was like, okay, what's the safest way for me to protect myself? And I'm like, vegetables, those are the least touched because they come out of the ground, they get picked, and then they go to the store. And I thought about meat and dairy and like how it goes through all these processes, like so many different places. Like you cannot eat a piece of chicken and be like, oh, I know exactly where that came from.
It's very hard.
I decided that I wasn't going to eat meat anymore. I already didn't like eggs or cheese growing up. I would eat things that had maybe eggs cooked in it, but I never ate eggs or cheese like that. I would order light cheese on my pizza. Like yogurt would make me sick. Milk would make me not feel good. I was always like, no, I'm not going to eat any of that. It was very easy for me to not have dairy. But I became a pescatarian, and I was really battling because I knew that I didn't want to eat fish, and it wasn't until my friend, shout out to him, he knows who he is, he said, Joy, because I was already not eating eggs or dairy. I called myself a pesca vegan because I'm like, I'm eating like non-dairy, but it's like I'm eating fish too. He was like, Joy, what's so different about fish? And I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like it's okay. Like, I feel like, it's just better and cleaner and healthier and da-da-da. And he was like, Joy, fish suffocate. That's how they die. And after that, I never ate a piece of fish. 'Cause I'm like, they suffocate. Like other animals, like it can be instant. But fish lay there and suffocate. And I'm like, I'm never touching a piece of fish again. Yeah. And I didn't. And here I am 8 years later. Or however long it's been. I don't know.
Hello, everybody. My name is Malina, and I am an actress in Hollywood / server, as most people in Los Angeles are. I mean, it's the truth, So I have been vegan for over 10 years, and my vegan journey actually started when I was like 7 or 8 years old. My parents and I lived in Bulgaria, that's where I'm from, for 2 years when I was like 7, 8 years old, and we went to my great-grandma's house. It's like in the middle of nowhere, like in the countryside, and I remember this so vividly, like it happened yesterday, but I heard like torturous screaming. I know this is like graphic, but like I heard like this horrible screaming coming from a pig. And I remember I was like asking my parents, I was like, what is that? What's happening? What are they doing to that animal? And my parents were like, well, it's our dinner. And I was like, well, why are they killing the pig for our dinner? Like, we were like shucking corn the whole night, like tons of corn, like for the dinner. And I was like, well, why do we need to kill the animal? It sounds like it's hurting. And I'm like 7 years old at the time. I literally resent my parents for this to this day, because my mom was like, it's okay. They only kill the sick ones, the ones that are already going to die and they're older. Those are the ones that they kill for our meals. And I remember I was like, okay, but it still sounds like it's suffering. It still sounds pretty horrible. And that night I refused to eat the pork. I swear to you, it's like ingrained in my brain, and it was horrible, obviously. But my dad got really upset with me because he thought I was like disrespecting my great grandma by not eating, because she like was providing this big dinner for the whole family and whatnot. But I refused to eat it, and then like, my mom really pushed that point of like, I promise you, like, no animals are killed unless they're about to die and they're already suffering and they're already on the way out. I obviously like went on eating meat until I was 19. And then when I was 19, I was working at a coffee stand. And if you're from Seattle, you work at a coffee stand, you're bored to death a lot of the shift, and you're by yourself in this little like tiny little small little cubby, and I got on my iPhone, and YouTube was this new thing. So I hopped on there, and I saw a video from PETA, and it was like how they produce beef. Cows, obviously. And it wasn't even the most graphic video that you could think of. It was just simply like how it's produced, you know, what their living situations are like. It was like maybe a couple videos of like them hanging by their foot, you know, how they like drag them down the line or whatever. And I was like, oh my God, I haven't even thought about this for so long. Like ever since that moment when I was little with my parents, it's like I'd put it to the back of my mind, and I was like, I don't need to think about where my food comes from anymore. It's all justified. All of a sudden, I'm watching this video, and I was like, how did I not think about this for this long? And I felt horrible. And that night, I went to my boyfriend's house, and his dad was cooking steak. And I had like talked to my boyfriend, and I was like, you know, I watched this video today that PETA put out about how beef is produced. And his dad was like, well, I cooked these great steaks or whatever. And it got really awkward at dinner because I sat down and he put the steak down, and he's like, what's wrong? And my boyfriend was like, well, she watched this video about how steak is produced today. And he's like, well, you don't have to eat it. And I was like, no, you know, because I feel bad. I don't want to waste food. I don't want to be that girl. Yeah. So I ate it, but that was the last steak that I ever ate. That was it. And I decided after that, I kept watching those videos. I kept educating myself. And I went pescatarian first, like I feel like most people do. Because for some reason. Yeah, because we don't connect with fish the way that we do with land animals, because we don't see them as much. We don't exist in their world. So we get to somehow push aside like their pain and everything, you know. You guys get it.
We'll get into it.
Yes, we'll get into it. Oh boy, will we. So for a year I was pescatarian, and then I watched Earthlings.
Yes. That's another one I watched.
That'll do it.
And my boyfriend and I sat down together, and I think we had meat for dinner that night. I had fish, he had chicken steak, something, I don't know. And we sat down, and I saw on Twitter this girl posted about Earthlings, and I was like, oh, we should check out this documentary, because it was on my mind. And I was like, I want to learn about this as much as I can. We put it on, and I kid you not, both of us are sitting there just like sobbing. And we're just like, how could this exist in the world? And we didn't know about it. And how is it hid from us so well? So next day we were both vegan. And that's it. And it's been over 10 years now. So that's my vegan journey.
Wow. Yes! Love that. All right, now we're going to do some rapid fire questions to get to know each other. Alessandra.
Okay, I'm ready.
Question number 1. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Los Angeles. I am an LA native, grew up in the Valley. It does not get more LA than that. I say like a lot.
Trigger warning, because
I have an
don't like
area
that.
code.
It's okay, she's from LA, it's justified.
We all currently live in LA, so like is part of our vocabulary.
All of ours.
And
It's
we
pop
will
culture
not
at this point.
Yeah, we will not tolerate any like slander.
Okay.
So I grew up in Arkansas, actually, and I lived there till I was 15, and then my family moved to California. We moved to Orange County. I'd like to say like half my life in Arkansas and then half my life in California. So it's weird when people ask where I'm from. I don't really know what to say.
Because they're both like so a part of you too.
Yeah, exactly. Like they make up who you are.
Yeah.
So yeah, what about you, Joy?
So I'm born and raised in Detroit, Michigan, but I was also an Army brat, so I lived in other places as well. I lived in Texas, Colorado, Kentucky, Tennessee, South Carolina, but I was born and raised in Detroit for a majority of my life. 313, baby.
Me, yes. I am originally from Sofia, Bulgaria. That is where I was born. I know most people don't know where it is. Look at a map. I don't know what else to tell you. It's in Europe. But I grew up in Seattle, Washington. And like I said earlier, we went back when I was like 7 years old, which is why I can still speak the language.
So cool.
But yeah, we lived there for 2 years and then moved back to Seattle, which is where I spent most of my life until I moved to LA.
Yeah. Question. Alessandra, how tall are you?
I am technically 5'3", but recently I went to Mexico where you had to, it was like an adult slide, like a water park, and you couldn't get on a ride unless you were 5'3", and, you know.
I feel attacked.
Yeah. So I stood against the wall, and it turns out that I'm 5'2.9985236. So I couldn't go on.
Wait, are you serious?
No.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let you because
They didn't let me on because they thought I would like fly off or something because I wasn't 5'3". But my driver's license is 5'3", and my attitude is 6'3".
She's not lying. She's not lying. How tall are you?
I am 5'3".
Wow.
We'll have to do a little test to see if I'm like just under.
That's
if I
crazy
can
because
ride
you
the
don't
rides.
you don't give 5'3" energy. You give
Really?
like 5'7".
I know.
Oh.
Actually, before I met you, I
Thank you.
thought you were taller. Yeah, I really did.
Oh wow!
Even
I never
right
did
now,
that.
I still look at you as like a 5'7".
Ooh,
I don't. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I always have felt like a schmoll.
Aw.
A schmoll. Joy, how tall are you?
I am an amazing
Stunning.
5'6".
Glorious.
I'm 5'6", and I love being 5'6". No
That is
shade.
the perfect
No
height.
shade.
Perfect
but
height. I was just gonna
Perfect
say
I was
that.
gonna say it's like the perfect height for me. Like I'm happy because it's like I'm not too tall.
Yeah.
But then I'm not too little. I'm just like the perfect little,
Perfect
you
in
know.
between.
I put my little heels on. I could be like 5'8", 5'9".
Yeah,
But then
love
I
it.
I
It's the
keep it with my,
Yeah.
sneakers or whatever, and I'm just like you can't run over me, but it's also like I'm delicate. Don't try me,
Don't.
but I'm gentle.
I am a tall glass of 5'1".
Ooh, baby.
I know, but if I stand up really, really tall, I'm 5'2".
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. We're little, like big things come in small packages. Just
True.
it is what it is. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
It's like condensed.
I'm condensed.
You have a lot in you.
Thank you.
do.
You do.
Oh
Big
boy, do
things
I.
do come in small packages.
Yeah.
Look at Zoe, my dog.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
Mhm.
We have to overcompensate for a lot, so we are just always walking through, barreling through, standing up tall,
Keep your head up high.
head up high.
What a great way to walk through life.
Exactly.
Dang, wait. Sorry, guys. But it must be really hard for you guys to grab things.
It is. I have a step stool and I hate
Kitchen.
having to bring it out
hate
every
step
time,
stool.
so I just asked Brendan to get it.
Dang.
I always think of that extra 3 inches. I could grab that plate, but
I know.
Dang.
Well,
I know.
there's many things you could do with an extra 3 inches. Yes.
Fine.
Joy's looking at me like I knew she was
I
going to
have
say
that accidental. Mom, don't watch this.
Mom skipped the intro video.
Change the channel.
that one's the least interesting, Mom. Don't watch that one.
Yeah, that's just like boring. They just say their names. Like,
They're just moving on. How many siblings do you have, if you have any?
I have one half brother. So I grew up as a half only child.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's
So-
interesting.
Yes.
Do you like having a sibling more or being an only child more?
I like having a sibling. I feel like because then we go through things together and I can text him when things, whatever happens. I'm like, oh,
Family
this
drama.
just, right, like, oh, this just happened. You should know it. And normally he's like so chill. Normally he's like, okay, cool. All right. It kind of grounds me a little bit. It grounds me a little bit, yeah. But he's a little older than I am, so we didn't grow up as siblings who were close in age. It was almost kind of like my older brother. So there was almost like an unspoken about respect because he was 8 years older than me.
I have 2 younger brothers. One's 5 years younger than me and one's 3 years younger than me. But they're only 18 months apart, so they're very close. So I was always kind of the outsider, being the only girl and being so much older than them.
Yeah.
I was always just kind of did my own thing. So I definitely feel that only child energy at times.
Yeah.
But then I definitely have them to ground me. That's such a brother thing.
Yeah,
just to
it
be
is.
everything's fine, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't feel any only child energy because I'm the oldest of 4. I have 2 younger brothers and a younger sister. And
Oh, you have the best of both worlds.
yeah, it's 2 girls and 2 boys, and my relationships with them are all different.
Yeah.
And I love that I have a sister too, because it's just but she's 16 now, and she's
age.
finally getting that age where I can tell her a little more. I'm here's a little more tea. But when we're together, she just came to visit me for her spring break a couple weeks ago, and I'm like, okay, a couple more years, I could tell you even more tea.
Oh my gosh, that's so fun.
It is fun. It's cool having brothers too, especially getting their perspectives on guys and seeing how they treat women. So if a guy tries to treat me a certain way, I'm like, I've seen my brother pull that before, so you're not gonna pull that on me. So it's very fun.
Well, I am an only child. I know, and let me tell you, I resent my parents for not having another sibling because, like you said, it would be so nice to have someone to text and be like, this bullshit, this one, they're pulling out shit or whatever.
You're outnumbered.
I'm alone in the world. I know. No, or I just have to get as many dogs as I possibly can, and that'll do it for me.
Yeah.
But yes, honestly, it was fine, and I kind of did it to myself because when I was younger, my parents did have conversations about having other kids, and I would start sobbing every time because I wanted all the attention. I know. I mean, that's only child behavior. You can't listen to me. You should have had more kids.
Destined to be an only
But yes,
child.
I'm an
I
only
could still
child.
see you being a big sister too.
Really?
Yeah, you'd be a really good big sister.
I think so too, because
It's like a
I
little-
like defending people.
Yeah,
you know,
you'd
that
be a
kind of
good big
stuff.
sister.
Thank
Yeah, because
you.
you're the oldest, right?
Yeah, I'm
and
the
I'm
oldest.
the oldest. And
Yeah.
it, like, okay, my brothers got on my nerves, but if anybody messed with them,
Oh.
I literally, there was one year where my brother and I were in high school at the same time, and this kid was messing with him, and I swear you've never seen me feisty, or I like ran up to this kid. I was
Yes.
like, you mess with my brother ever again?
Yes.
I'll kick your ass.
Yes.
100% if I had siblings, I would do that.
Yeah.
But I feel like I do that for my friends now. Like, if their
Yeah.
boyfriends
yeah.
are nasty, I like
But
it.
it's even different.
Crazy
It's so
behavior.
different when
When
it's
it's
your
your
flesh
family.
and blood.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times I've told my younger siblings, like, okay, that they want to try you, tell them you have a big sister from Detroit. Period. Let them know I don't play when it comes to my flesh and blood.
Oh my god.
Or my friends too. But you know, when it's
Yes.
your little sibling,
Because you feel like you were supposed to protect them, like the
Yeah.
second they came out, like
Exactly.
you had a responsibility for them.
exactly.
Like your parents would be like, "Oh, watch them while I go do this. Watch them while I go
Exactly.
do this." And so
Yeah.
there's like this extra level.
It's like you're a parent in a different way.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so don't
Yes.
try.
Don't try.
All right. Next question. Don't mess with Joy's siblings, okay?
Okay.
Don't do it.
If any of you knuckleheads.
She's gonna post that clip on Instagram, just her talking straight to the camera. Let them know you have a sister from Detroit.
Okay, let them know.
What is your favorite color? I love this question.
Aww.
These are like first date questions.
I know.
We are on a first
We're
date
on our
kind
first
of.
date with our viewers.
Yay.
My favorite color changes, actually. I feel like it depends on the phase that I'm in life and like the season.
Mm-hmm.
But as of late, it's been kind of like a pale yellow. And like I think I've always liked forest green, but like like earthy tones. I feel like I really like those. But like right now, like yellow. I really like yellow. I really like yellow.
My favorite consistent color, like over the years, I feel like very much, like you said, it changes, but my consistent color is peacock blue. I always go back to it. If you're not familiar, it's like this like mix between green and blue, and it's like a deep jewel tone. And I don't know why, especially in interiors, I don't wear it a lot,
Yeah.
but in my house, I need it. It's almost in every room, like this like
Mhm.
peacocky blue.
I love
Peacocky.
Okay.
that.
Peacock.
My color is and always has.
hand motion. Like, what is this?
It'll make sense.
Okay.
My color is and has always been the colors you see behind us. Anything in this like pretty pink world, those are my favorite colors. The crazy thing is I don't own anything like pink to wear, but pink is just my favorite color. It always has been, and it just makes me so happy. And like anything there's like rose gold pink or baby pink or anything, it just makes me so happy. So like I love this backdrop because it's like my heart.
My favorite color has been and always will be green.
I knew you were gonna say
And you know why? Really?
Yeah.
Do I give off green energy?
You give me green.
I do?
I wouldn't have guessed that you were
Really?
But like not bright neon green.
No,
I think
no. Like forest green.
Yes.
Like
Forest green.
neutral
Olive
green. Olive green.
Yes. That's
because
you, baby.
where I find peace, because I do have anxiety, I need to go out in nature and I see the trees and I see the grass, and that just instantly soothes me. So I just think that green is just the most beautiful, soothing color, and it always has been to me, and it always will be.
Wow. I love
Comment below and guess our astrological sun signs.
Yes,
I would love to know what you think
that. Yeah.
based off those answers.
Are we gonna
Good
tell
luck.
them one day?
One day.
Yeah, one day. Yeah. Guess our signs, our sun signs.
I like this game.
What are your pet peeves?
I guess this is very LA, but one of my pet peeves is when you drive up to like a red light and the car in front of you doesn't stop on the light sensors, and and then they're just like all over the place, and then the light never turns green because they're not on
They're
the sensors.
too far back?
It's like, do you not realize that like almost every intersection has sensors? Like they're there for a reason, and if you go on them, the light changes faster and sometimes longer, depending on if the guy behind you is also standing on the sensor over there.
Wait,
Why don't we do that?
why didn't I know there were
You didn't know that?
No.
So you've been messing it up.
I drive up to the light though.
Well, but it's not always like right at the light. Sometimes it,
Alessandra
they
will
mess
never
it
drive
up.
behind you.
I never knew that there were sensors.
Sometimes it's like right like on the crosswalk, which is like why, but sometimes it's like
Can
further
you
back.
see it?
Yeah, you can. It's like a circle.
You can
You
see
learn
it.
See it.
You learn new things every day.
The more you know.
The more you know.
Rainbow.
Do you guys see that tweet where it was like tire rotation isn't just like them rotating the tire, it's them literally flipping the tires for like the front and back tires and
Did you just learn
I just learned that. Did you know that? Did you know that?
Anytime I have a car issue, I'm like, Dad, this light came on.
That's how I feel right now. I had no idea.
My dad did teach me that. I wouldn't know that otherwise.
Oh yeah, everything I learned about cars from my
Things
dad.
they should teach you in school.
I know.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that.
But they don't.
We'll get into
Taking
that.
on the U.S. education system.
Oh yeah,
They
baby.
want us to fail and go into
The
debt.
vegan view is coming for you.
That's my super specific pet peeve.
I love that. My pet peeve that I didn't realize until the panoramic happened was when people stand too close to you in line. And this 6 feet has given me so much peace of mind. I get so anxious when I'm in line and somebody's like this close to me, like a stranger, or they like keep like their bag keeps bumping
I
into
know.
you.
Or like their shopping cart like keeps hitting your back.
You
Has it
have
happened
The
to you?
shopping cart, yes.
Yes.
That's their joke.
It's like
And that even happened in panoramic. I had to like turn around to this woman and be like, 6 feet. I feel like such an old lady. I'm like, 6 feet.
No, but seriously, why did it have to get to this for people to respect people's space?
Yeah.
Get off me. I
Why
can't
did
tell you how many times I'd be standing in line at Starbucks and I could feel someone's breath on my neck and I would turn around dramatically like this. Like, why? Why?
Also, why did it take for people to wash their hands?
Yes.
Hello. Honestly,
Wash
it made me happy that people were finally washing their hands because I'm already a germaphobe. I already have been sanitizing my phone. I sanitize everything. Like I'm already like that. So it's like
How many times did you guys go to the gym and you're washing your hands and you see girls go out of the stove
yeah.
and just walk out
Just
without
walk
washing
out.
their hands?
everything.
And they're just like,
This is a study I always quote. What study is it? I don't know. I just read it somewhere, so you can go find it. And I don't know how old it is. But it was a study.
We don't have the details.
We
it
don't
was
have
a
the
study.
But it was a study that said that 70% of women didn't wash their hands after using public
I saw
restrooms,
that.
and 90% of men didn't wash their hands after using public restrooms.
That-
Think about all the
Not
places that you're in where like people are touching things like doorknobs, like it just
menus.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh,
Menus.
no. Oh,
Menus
no.
disgust me,
Oh,
and I'm
no.
so glad that now we have like the little
Phone.
phone menus
Yeah.
because menus have always disgusted me.
Good things have come.
Good
things have come.
The silver lining.
Is that your pet peeve then?
I guess it's hard for me to think of a pet peeve because like I don't know.
You try not to focus on the negative.
Exactly.
I don't
So
either.
I guess like just
Cleanliness.
Hygiene.
hygiene.
Personal hygiene.
Personal hygiene. I think that would be my pet peeve though, right? Like just like germs.
Yeah.
Germs are my pet peeve.
My pet peeve, I don't know if this really counts, but it's know-it-alls. It's okay to not know everything. It's okay to ask questions. It's okay. You haven't walked in everyone's shoes. It's okay to hear someone else's experience and say, oh, let me know more about that. What's that like for you? Instead of being like, I've never lived that, but let me have a very strong opinion on it and counter you. Never mind that it's your literal life experience.
And you know what? I love that you said that because I feel like we could all relate, but I feel like that's a part of why we're vegan because we're compassionate and we're thinking
Yes.
about more than just what we
Yes.
know.
Yes.
It
You
does
know?
take like asking those questions.
You're right, and you made that point earlier where it's like and I have a hard time with this because I'm just like, why are you like this? Why didn't you think about this? And that's the difference between us. We are compassionate people who try to think about other people and their perspective and being in their
Yes,
shoes.
because we do that as a lifestyle
Yes.
already.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Every day. We're constantly thinking outside of ourselves.
Yeah, which is why it's so
Yeah.
important, regardless of whether you agree with the other person or not,
Yes.
to at least listen
Listen,
to their point of view, so
yes.
you can make an educated, decision based on what
Exactly.
you think.
I will say I could do better about that because especially when it comes to certain topics like veganism, like I don't want to hear what you have to say because I'm right and you're wrong.
Yeah.
But I do think I could learn by listening more, just
For sure.
trying to understand the other side of things. It's
I think
hard.
for me, it's been mostly like meat eaters who have never been vegan, who have these very strong opinions, whereas I will respect their perspective.
Yeah.
And I will be like, okay, well, that's interesting. Like, I want to hear what you have to say. And I'm never trying to push this agenda, despite, the popular opinion of like vegans pushing their beliefs or whatever. I don't feel like I'm like that. And all of my friends, most of my friends actually aren't vegan. And they never are like, oh, you're so pushy with this or
Agreed.
whatever, ever.
Yeah.
Same.
But it's like, you always have opinion on my lifestyle, but yet you've never lived it, not even for a second.
Right.
Yeah.
But you have so much to say.
Yeah, that could be a whole episode.
Why?
What is one thing on your bucket list?
My bucket list for travel is to go to Bolivia and go to the salt flats there. I really want to go. Really want to go.
Yeah, she's really into that type.
I am. I feel like I've probably told you, Joy, about that. Joy's been like, Let's go to the beach.
I'm such, like, when I travel, I'm such a beachy girl.
If there's not a beach there, she's like, why?
It doesn't make sense to me. I'm like, okay.
I have a lot of places I want to see, but thinking of things I want to do, I want to learn Spanish and I want to learn how to play golf. Those are two things that like are on my life list. Like I just really want to learn how to do those things. And so, yeah, one day.
My parents live on a golf course, and one day I was like, oh, I'm going to be the cart girl.
Oh
It was like a couple summers ago, and I was like the cart girl. And then one of the golfers who I was like getting drinks for, he was like, you don't golf? And I'm like, no, I'm just like gonna give drinks. Like, I'm just like trying to be in the sun. And he's like, come, let me show you. And so this man was just out there by himself, and like, he was like kind of a pro to me.
Yeah.
You could just tell he goes all the time.
Yeah.
Was he a zaddy?
Was he a zaddy?
Yeah.
He was someone's father. And perhaps grandfather too.
It's not mine.
Father.
My daddy was at home across the acre. But my actual dad. Okay, anyways. This man taught me how to play golf. And I was like, wait.
Are you good?
I was actually pretty good. They were like, oh my God, you're actually really good for a first timer. And I got it. I didn't understand why people just walked around with the golf club and just did it. And I got it when I had the club in my hand and I was doing it. I was like, I get it. And I can't explain it until you do it. I really want to be fluent in Espanol.
We have the same one.
Yeah.
We should do it together.
We should.
Hold each other accountable.
We should. I have this great app that I'm not going to say because they're not sponsoring us. But I have to pay X amount of money a month, which I think motivates me more. And I practice every day. And I'm definitely getting better. But I think I just want... Oh, another thing on my bucket list that goes with this. I want to live in a Spanish-speaking country. Oh. Perhaps Mexico. Because I love Mexico.
I love Mexico.
I love Mexico.
I've never been.
I just want to live there for like 30 or 60 days.
I know, you look like I just said something
How?
terrible.
The vegan food?
It's right there.
Comida vegano?
I know. Okay, we're going.
Yeah, we're going.
The vegan view takes Mexico?
Yes.
Okay. It's very simple. I just want to live in Amsterdam. I want to live in Amsterdam, even if it's not permanent. When I went there, I kid you not, sometimes when I'm like at work mostly, and I just need to go find a happy place, I go to the bathroom or to a corner somewhere, and I just think about when I was in Amsterdam, and I kid you not, that feeling of when I was there. I don't know if you guys have ever been, but it's just like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's just like everything around you. There's plenty of vegan food, the people, everyone rides bikes over cars. And I love that so much. I don't know, I just felt at home there. So I need
Coffee shops everywhere.
Coffee shops everywhere. I love coffee.
Do you also love the other...
I know.
Well, I don't like that kind of coffee.
Do you also love the other thing they're known for?
Plot twist, I do not get down with the other thing they're known for. It gives me anxiety. No, I just love the vibe. I love the people. I love the fact that people ride bikes everywhere. And I'm just like, you know what? Even if it's not permanent, I need to live here at least for a year of my life, or for some...
Is your boyfriend down?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yes. We're on board. Same page.
Oh.
Yes.
Don't go anytime soon because we'll miss you.
No, not anytime soon.
Yeah.
We got things to do here in LA.
What sports do you play or have you played?
In middle school, I played soccer and volleyball, and I have not played either since. I wasn't very good at either, but I enjoyed both.
I always wanted to play sports, but you were probably the same height as me. I was always too short. So I grew up doing dance and cheer.
When I was in middle school, I did cheer, and then I did track, and then it got to a certain point where like the musicals at my school were the real deal, and it was like, okay, either you're gonna go to musical theater rehearsal after school, or you're gonna go... I did try tennis for a day, or you're gonna go to whatever sports or track or whatever practice, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna go to musical theater. So I haven't done sports since then because I chose to do musical theater after school. The arts, baby.
Chose the arts.
Yeah. What about you?
So when I was 5 years old, I started figure skating, and I did it for 12 years after that. I did it competitively. I lived and breathed figure skating. I would leave my school like 30 minutes early. My mom had arranged with my school for me to leave class early so that I could get to practice. You do off-ice practice where you're stretching, doing like 100 push-ups, like crazy, running laps around the ice skating rink before you get on the ice. And then when I got to high school, I was like, oh, friends are a thing, a social life is a thing, and I got rebellious and I quit. But
You
that
ever
was my
miss it?
I do.
You were Ice Princess.
I was skating competitively, and
Wow.
I
to
was
wear the cute
pretty
outfits?
good. I wore the pretty custom-made dresses and everything.
It was
Aw.
always my dream.
I loved it so much. I loved it so much, but I don't regret my choice.
Good. As long as you have no
Always.
regrets.
No
Yes,
regrets.
no regrets.
What is your favorite movie?
Pride and Prejudice. I watch it once a week. Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like I've come over before and you're like, want to watch Pride and Prejudice? You've definitely said that
You're
to
one
me.
of those people that watches things over and over
for
again.
sure.
Oh.
Well, no, not all
Not
movies,
everything, just
just
that.
Pride and Prejudice. Although I will see Jurassic Park every now and then again because I love just that world. I think it's great.
I just saw that Jurassic Park for the first time like 2 weeks ago.
The OG one.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And the later movies are like.
I'm like the opposite. I don't watch movies over again. I watch them once and I'm done. But the one,
Same.
like, I really won't. But the one that, like, I've watched a few times that I absolutely love is Shawshank Redemption. I like, that is like a life-changing movie for me, that every time I watch it, I feel like another person after watching it.
Yeah, it's also hard for me to rewatch something I've already seen because I'm like, I already know what's going to happen.
the ending.
Yeah,
I have a hard time with that too.
yeah, and I've seen a lot of great movies. I'm constantly consuming, content. So I'm not going to really say my favorite movie because there's so many and I just can't think of that right now. I'm having one of those days. But my favorite TV show that brings me much joy is Girlfriends. My girlfriends. So yeah,
Okay,
anyways.
free concert.
That voice though. So my favorite movie is Road to Perdition. The score on that movie is everything. And Tom Hanks, like, please just let me be in a film with Tom Hanks and then I can peacefully pass away after that. Just one. The second one after that, these are movies that, like, I have a hard time also, just like you said, like, rewatching movies. But these are the movies that I can watch again and again, and I love them. My second one is Across the Universe. I could put that on and just sing to it, and it makes me happy. And I know so many people hate it for some reason. I've read the reviews online, but I love that movie. It makes me happy.
The Rotten Tomatoes.
I know. Shut up, Rotten Tomatoes.
Do you speak any languages and how well?
I speak English, so. I'm fluent in Spanish. Actually, I grew up speaking Spanish first. I didn't actually learn to speak English until I was like 7.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Say something sexy in Spanish.
Talk dirty to us.
Me gusta mucho tomar champán cuando hablo con la cámara.
That's why I want
Okay.
to speak Spanish. And I don't speak any but English.
Yo soy vegana, papi.
Okay.
Me gusta comer. I said it right.
Yeah.
The icon.
The Spanish lessons are paying off, baby.
You're getting that money's worth.
My money's worth. I know everything I need to know.
Yes.
Do you speak any languages?
I do. I speak Bulgarian. Здравейте всички, как сте?
Ooh.
В момента пия шампанско. На здраве.
Ooh.
And that is it.
Could have just called us something really mean and we would never know.
I know we'd be
I
like, ugh.
Cheers. We love you.
If you're Bulgarian, go in the comments and let us know what she say.
Okay, they don't trust me apparently, so translate.
Translate, please.
All right. What is your idea of a dream date?
I recently had to answer this question and I didn't have an answer to the question. But if I'm going back to my favorite movie, I would want to go to Chatsworth House, which is Mr. Darcy's house in Pride and Prejudice, and have like a picnic there. I think that would be really sweet.
That's dreaming big. Okay, I was thinking like, what's my ideal date? But dream date.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would say my dream date would be going wine tasting in Italy,
Ooh.
in Florence.
Oh, yes.
And then going to a cozy dinner with lots of pasta afterwards.
Yes.
And then maybe like going to a park and like listening to some live music after.
That
going
sounds.
home.
Oh, the pasta. You had me at the pasta.
Pasta.
Like a bunch of pasta.
The comfort food.
Wow, I could feel this spring in Florence right now. A dream date, period? A
Yeah.
dream date? Fly me out to some island and let's eat tacos and drink wine on the beach, on the island with the sun hitting my skin.
Ooh.
And we're just listening to music and looking at the beautiful nature. And then have like rose petals in the bedroom with a bubble bath.
All right.
Okay.
Fellas.
This is very specific, but this is I want to be next to the Eiffel Tower with a baguette and a bottle of red wine. And not like, where all the tourists are, like down on the grass, but like just far enough to where we could see the Eiffel Tower sparkling. And then I want to go home I want to go to a hotel room.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and just like eat pasta out of a box.
In
and
bed?
Just
Out of
in
the
bed.
box.
Out of the box. In
Why does
bed.
it taste so good out of the box?
I don't
know.
It's just like I want to be away from other people, but I want to like enjoy the beautiful like scenery. That's it. That's it.
The baguette though.
The baguette with the red wine. That's all I want. Just sitting in the distance.
France.
There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. I may have
I love all your dream dates.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Same.
Would go on a date with you.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, we could just do that.
We'll all together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's all do this together.
We could actually just make this happen.
Yeah.
Now we just realized this with each other.
All right, I think we're on our last question. Tell us one thing about you that we wouldn't know.
Everything, because y'all don't know me.
Something about me that people wouldn't know unless you watch all my stories all the time is that I love adult standards. I love Dean Martin, I love Frank Sinatra, Etta James, all the good stuff. Wayne Newton, I know not really adult standard, but sort of, even though he's like from the 80s, but just all that stuff makes me happy.
Fun fact, I am a certified scuba diver, and I have not been scuba diving since I got certified. But that was a very big deal for me because I was very afraid of water for a very long time.
Good for you facing
I
those fears.
overcame those fears.
I once jumped out of a plane on my golden birthday one year. It was my golden birthday.
Like skydiving full on parachute and stuff? And you
Yeah.
had someone on your back?
I skydove. The best part about skydiving is that you make the leap. It's your choice. Like they're like, okay, we're at the edge, and like you jump off when you're ready. So you have like this moment of like, am I gonna do this? Am I not? And you just see your feet like hanging off the edge of the plane door,
My hands are excited.
and it's like it's like your feet are teeter tottering, and you make that choice, and you like look down, and you're just in the sky, and it's like. You make that choice.
But
and
do you have a moment where you could be like, I don't want to do it?
Yeah, for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's why that moment is the best moment, because you're literally on the edge and they're like, whenever you're ready. And like, I was looking down at my Converse and I'm like, there's the Converse and there's the atmosphere. The clouds. 13,000 feet up. And I made that choice. Honestly, sometimes when I'm scared of doing things, I think back, like Alessandra and I were in Ecuador and we went to the Amazon and we swung on this rope and it was really high up and I was freaking out. And she's like, Joy, you jumped out of a plane before. And I was like, yeah, I did. And I was able to do it. So sometimes when I'm having a hard time doing something, even anything non-physical, I'm like, I jumped out of a plane. Like,
Yeah.
I can do this.
I love that. That helped you with
It
so
helps
many
me
life
with
choices.
so many life choices
Yeah.
moving forward.
So my fun fact is that me and my 17-year-old cat Barnold get up at 3 a.m. every single night and we go to the fridge and we have a midnight snack together. I open the fridge and I sit there, my eyes are puffy and I can't see, and I look for what I can find, and I find some vegan cheese slices and some tofurkey slices, and I roll it up and I eat it.
Lunchable.
And then he stands up on my leg and he swats for some treats. So I give him his little catnip treats and we just sit there at night and have a little snack
Every
together.
single
Every
morning.
night?
Oh,
Sometimes we might skip a night, but yeah, we're pretty consistent. We stay
Wow.
consistent, yes.
love that.
Yes, so you know my dirty little secret now.
Hope you guys feel like you know us a little more, because you're going to be seeing a lot of us
Oh, yes.
on this channel. You need us, we're here.
This is actually where we live. We will not
Yeah.
be leaving this
Well, yeah,
location.
Yeah, we're always here for you.
Every time you press play, we do this all over again.
Yeah.
All right. Well, definitely leave a comment down below if any of our fun facts resonated with you, and leave any questions for future videos. I'm sure we'll do another Q&A very soon.
Mhm.
And don't forget to subscribe to these wonderful women before you go. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Give it a thumbs up. We also have a Facebook group if you would like to join. We'll leave everything in the description box down below, and stay tuned next week for another episode. Bye!